Hi guys, right, defending Elvis, welcome. Let's get the chat up. Is it going to work? The chat's being a bit weird today, so I might have to do it on my phone. I just want to make sure. Hi Tina, you come to say hello? So the chat's not come up for some reason. Let's see if it's going to let me do it. Let's sit on my lap. Oh! All right, okay, you go and watch Minions. He's watching Minions. So Yasmin's at a dance competition with Aurora. It's bloody hot, guys. Whew. I just want to see why the chat isn't popping up. Normally it pops up. Doesn't seem to want to today. I have no idea why. So I need to check on the chat. Oh, I see. I think I've slid it down here. Okay, let's go. Okay, right. So, I can't see the chat. Oh, there it is. Aha, found it. Right. We got the chat up. Hi, guys. So we got the chat up. So I was just trying to make the chat work. Okay, hi. Let me just write hi. Right, it's working. So morning to everyone. At the moment, I am learning to embrace the AI videos. Initially, I was quite against them. I'm still not a fan. But come on, guys. They are part of the way forward. Not the only way forward, but they are part of something that we do that we are going to need to learn to deal with. Now, I am trying to find the ones that are defending, that defend Elvis and Lisa and the bloodline. Sometimes when they're really trashy, we can pick out just how ridiculous they are and defend Elvis and disagree with them as well. So I'm going to make good of the artificial intelligence stuff that's coming our way. So there actually is some pretty good AI videos now, and we've reviewed a couple of them. So we're going to start using these videos to help us defend Elvis. That is the plan. So this is an AI video, artificial intelligence. I still haven't worked out how they're made yet, but somebody tells a story. I'd love to know how they get their information, the source of information, to create the storyline. They have always had fantastic pictures and videos in these AI videos. They get lots of views. I'm guessing they do it for clickbait, for money, for subscribers, for super thank yous, all that kind of stuff. It's a business. So I doubt these people are actually Elvis fans or Lisa Marie fans. Probably they do it just for money. But I still think we can try and use these to our advantage. So what I'm going to do is we've already done one half of a review of half of this video. The channel is called Celebify. Now, I've been on Celebify. There's good and there's bad, yeah? So it's a bit like rock and roll history. There's some very good videos, like AI videos that really defend Elvis and Lisa. And there's really crap ones that really trash Elvis. So it's a difficult one, guys. So we're halfway into it. We've done about 7 to 8 minutes of the first half. We did it on a video with live comments. This is totally live. I haven't watched the second half of this video, so this is my first time of watching this video, the second half. I've had a few people send this to me. I am being sent a lot of AI videos. A lot of people are sending me these now, guys. So I can't just ignore them. So my wife's trying to ring. Just 1 second. 1 second, guys. Right. Yeah, I've just gone live. So is everything all right? Yeah. I've just been walking up, everything up, everything up.
Squidgy. Oh.
Right, sorry about that, guys. Just chatting quickly with the wife. She gives me her instructions. I do as I'm told. I follow orders. Usual thing, guys. Right, let's press play. Here goes. So, welcome to Defending Elvis, by the way. We run 3 channels. Defending Elvis, where we defend Elvis Presley found on keto for our health, Elvis Presley long lost footage, vintage videos, and more. So ultimately, we're all avid Elvis fans that truly want to defend Elvis. Let's go.
Priscilla of spreading despicable lies about their relationship, causing unnecessary drama and tarnishing the memory of her time with Elvis. These accusations highlight a deep rift between the two women, rooted in their shared history with one of the most iconic figures in music history. Ginger Alden has been vocal about her need to set the record straight regarding her relationship with Elvis Presley, and to counteract what she claims are false narratives perpetuated by Priscilla.
So this is the big deal to me. Yeah, obviously she had many reasons for suddenly out of the blue deciding to write a book after 30 years of silence, I've been told. Is that true? Was there 30 years of silence? I know initially, after Elvis died, she did do some stuff, I would say, respectfully, for money, like a movie that's free on YouTube that is based on a rock star. She's done some tabloids and magazines. She has done some early interviews. I wouldn't say I'm happy with everything that was done by Ginger. She's not a complete squeaky clean angel concerning making money from Elvis. But then she goes quiet and she does spend most of her life. Obviously, she's married. She has her own life. In 2014, she decides she wants to come out. She's not happy with many of the things that have been said by exes, ex-girlfriend, the ex-wife, by just the Memphis Mafia, by people around Elvis. You know, it could be family, couldn't it? Family of Elvis. She wants to set the record straight. She has strong opinions. She massively disagrees with the type of things that are being said about Elvis by many people. And so do we. We at Defending Elvis are unhappy with many of the things said about Elvis and Lisa. There's a bit of an issue because Lisa says a few things in her book, From Here to the Great Unknown. She could hear them arguing. It's pretty obvious that Lisa really liked Linda. It's pretty obvious that the Memphis Mafia and family really liked Linda Thompson and missed Linda. That's a whole story in itself. Was Ginger Alden accepted? Probably not. She spent more time upstairs with Elvis. She did seem to be telling Elvis the wrongdoing of these people around him. And she didn't really want to mix with the Memphis Mafia from what I can see. And I don't really think Elvis wanted her to either. He sort of kept her to himself. She didn't want to move in with Elvis. She didn't want to live with him. Back in the 1970s, it wasn't normal to just meet someone and quickly move into together. Don't forget, they'd only known each other for 9 months in total. At the point where Elvis wanted her to move in, they probably hadn't known each other long. In the 70s, you didn't just quickly move in with your partner. You know, she lived with her mum, she lived with her sisters, she shared a bedroom with her sister. So for her to suddenly uproot and move into Graceland, that was a big decision. I understand why she didn't, even though most would have jumped at the chance. I keep saying it, guys. Coffee is so nice in the morning. Butter coffee. But anyway, that's not what I keep saying. She gets a backlash. Ginger Alden does get a hard time. I'm sure there's people watching me now that just don't like her, are not happy with her, have strong opinions. The same things get brought up over and over again about the lawsuit with the mum, her putting makeup on when Elvis was discovered, her not wanting to live with Elvis, her not going on tour with Elvis. Then you have the story of Alicia Kerwin that keeps getting brought up. You know, that Elvis had her waiting in the wings, Alicia Kerwin. I've got evidence both sides. I've got evidence that says, no, she didn't. Alicia was not waiting to go away with Elvis, never intended to go away with Elvis. That it's not true. But then you've also got family members saying she definitely was. So even that's a big drama in itself, isn't it, guys? There are some court testimonies where she did evidence, I think, in the Dr. Nick trial, where she clearly says, me and Elvis were not lovers. I was never going to go away with him on tour. So it's the hot potato, guys. There are strong views either way. Chinese whispers. We get a lot of things being said that are hearsay, that have been passed down, secondhand knowledge. Yeah, most of the things I hear when Ginger Alden is discussed are things that other people have repeated again and again and again. We don't know if any of it's true. Honestly, I can't say what is true or isn't true. I think Ginger Alden clearly thinks it's very unfair to her and that she is unfairly treated by many fans. She does defend herself. She did make a very long post on her Facebook page trying to explain the situation with Lisa Marie, saying that she was very disappointed by Lisa Marie's words in the book. Obviously, we stand by Lisa Marie and how she felt. We can't ignore that Lisa Marie was very young, only 9. Her memories will be of a child. Yeah, we can't ignore that. I don't think it's fair to ignore that, even though her memories are very vivid. Of course, if Lisa Marie heard them arguing, which I believe she probably did, you know, we believe her. We believe her. Ginger Alden tries to say they didn't argue. I can't believe that. I can't go along with that. They argued, guys. Come on. All couples argued. Right. So Emma says, I think too, Karen, I think that's why she probably wasn't keen on Ginger, because she was missing Linda. Yeah, I completely understand that. And Linda, as far as I can tell, was very close to Lisa. So you know, the Linda Thompson story is very complicated as well. So we have Linda's book. Linda 100% said things I wish she didn't say. Yeah, but she also said some lovely things. And Linda Thompson defends Elvis and always has done. So I really like Linda Thompson. I think really highly of Linda Thompson, but she's made mistakes as well, as most of the people around Elvis. Friends, family, Memphis Mafia, all the people around Elvis made mistakes, didn't they? Including Ginger. So let's, yeah, of course, we believe, oh, come on, they argued. Come on, it's so obvious. Because Ginger says, oh, you know, we never argued. Oh, but we did have a few disagreements. They argued, guys. Come on, we know that. We love you, Ginger. Come on, you argued. You're a human being. Right. Okay, right. Let's press play on this video. And then I'm going to take Tino to football. I'm taking Tino to football this morning. It's a beautiful heat wave in England. Extremely hot in England at the moment. Like 28 and up, you know, in temperature. So let's make the most of it before it starts raining. In England, we get a lot of rain.
In a scathing letter, Ginger did not hold back her disdain for Priscilla's alleged fabrications.
Right, hang on. In a scathing letter. Remember, this is artificial intelligence. We don't know if any of the things said in this video are true. He mentions a letter. I know nothing about a letter. Okay, let's keep going.
Stated, Elvis and I did not take our engagement lightly. I find the omission of our engagement, as well as my existence with Elvis, bewildering, considering Elvis's ex-wife asked for me during Elvis's wake and told me she knew how much Elvis loved me.
Is that true? Did that happen? I've never heard of this. In this AI video, that Priscilla had specifically asked for Ginger. That's not how I've heard about it. I've heard that Priscilla went out of her way to make sure none of the ex-girlfriends were welcome. Definitely not on the aeroplane journey when Priscilla was brought over to the funeral. Is my information correct? Yes, yes, these people were at the funeral, Ginger and Linda, etc. So I know Mindy Miller was there. We're big fans of Mindy Miller. We've spoke to Mindy Miller recently. So remember, this is AI. The one thing I do like about AI videos is the beautiful pictures and video clips that they bring together. That's one thing I like about these sometimes fake AI videos.
Ginger is particularly upset by Priscilla's insinuations that Elvis was unhappy in his final relationship and wanted to end it.
Well, okay. Whew. That is an insinuation, right? Guys, is that true? Is that true? What he's just said, that Priscilla said Elvis was very unhappy in his final relationship. Was that ever said? I've never heard Priscilla say that. Was it said?
Ginger vehemently denies these claims, asserting that Elvis was planning for a future with her, which included setting a wedding date and discussing having more children.
So I've never heard Ginger, I've heard her discuss that things said by people in the past are incorrect and unfair, and there's a very unfair portrayal of Elvis. I've never heard Ginger actually address Priscilla. Has anybody heard that? Obviously, now she goes on to discuss their engagement and their plans to get married.
Specific instances where Ginger claims Priscilla spread lies include...
Again, this is AI. Ginger says Priscilla spread lies. We know, allegedly for entertainment purposes, Priscilla did spread lies. Yeah, obviously I call Priscilla's book trash. I call Priscilla's book fake news. So, you know my opinion. I always say, I keep repeating myself like a parrot. Fake news, a reinvention of the truth, a rewriting of the truth. Priscilla realised the fans are very gullible and believe everything she says, anything she puts in an interview or a book, and no one's going to disagree with her. No one questioned Priscilla. Whatever she said became gospel, and this is so wrong. This is why we defend, because many of the things that Priscilla said, in my opinion, are not true, have been twisted, exaggerated. Not a fact, just for entertainment purposes. This is just a discussion. But guys, Priscilla reinvented the truth to suit herself, to paint herself as a poor victim, an innocent girl. It ain't true, guys. She was unfaithful many times, and many of the things Priscilla did towards Elvis were cruel, in my opinion. I don't hate Priscilla, but I have strong views. I want to expose the wrongdoing to Elvis so we can defend Elvis.
Allegations that Priscilla tried to diminish her role in Elvis's life by ignoring their engagement.
Did that happen? Priscilla tried to diminish, by ignoring the engagement. Did that happen? I don't know this.
Suggesting that Elvis's final months were fraught with misery and regret.
Suggesting that Elvis's final months were fraught with misery and regret. We don't know any of that happened. We don't know that, do we, guys? Did Ginger Alden say that as well? So obviously Ginger Alden paints a beautiful picture of Elvis his last 9 months. He was in love, enjoying life, looking forward to the future, all set and ready for the tour that was up and coming. Had done many things with Lisa and Ginger. We know about them going to see the James Bond film, Spy Who Loved Me, going to the fun fair. Elvis went to her grandfather's funeral, Ginger's. So Elvis was keeping busy right up until his last breath.
Ginger countered these claims by sharing intimate details of her time with Elvis, portraying a man who was hopeful and excited about the future. I certainly don't remember his ex-wife in Lisa Marie's bedroom in the early hours of August 16th, when Elvis began discussing wedding plans and setting a date with me, Ginger said, emphasizing that she was the one by Elvis's side during his last moments.
So, I'm going to be honest. When I look at the old interviews of Ginger saying, oh, I found Elvis dead. Oh, and by the way, we'd only hours earlier were discussing our marriage in December. Because we weren't there, I have my doubts. Now, I don't want to upset you, Ginger. But when I look back at those old video clips, and they're all over YouTube, I don't know what to think, guys. Some people may say it's very convenient to say, oh yeah, Elvis died. Oh, by the way, we set a date for the wedding. Other people will go, do you know what? 100% they were getting married. Elvis was going to get full custody of Lisa and they were going to live happily ever after and get married at Christmas. So I'm not saying it's not true. I'm saying we don't really know, do we? We don't really know. I don't want to call Ginger a liar. I really respect Ginger. I think her portrayal of Elvis is lovely. I think her book is great. She does say things in that book that some of you won't like, but generally her book is lovely. I am a big fan of Ginger because she defends Elvis. But we don't know the truth. Let's be honest, we don't know the truth.
Furthermore, Ginger has shared anecdotes where Elvis expressed frustration with Priscilla's actions, such as her alleged attempt to use his plane for a European jewelry venture and her supposed request for Elvis to support her father's wine business.
So these are all the stories that keep getting brought up. And then obviously the mortgage of her mother, there was a lawsuit concerning that. And many other things. The same things are brought up again and again. Ginger putting on makeup when Elvis was discovered dead. God rest his soul. Come on, guys. There's a list as long as my arm of people trashing Ginger. But there's also a long list of people that absolutely love Ginger, yeah, that adore her. And, you know, her personal appearances are lovely. Her interviews that she gives concerning Elvis, discussing Elvis, answering questions are lovely. And there's some very recent ones as well. She's a beautiful lady. She's still beautiful.
Personal recollections aim to dismantle Priscilla's narrative and assert Ginger's rightful place in Elvis's life story. By speaking out, Ginger hopes to preserve the true memory of her relationship with Elvis and honor the love they shared during his final days.
So I do think Ginger's book there was an intention to speak out. Where have I put it? I've lost her book. I do think Ginger's book was, I'm going to set wrongs to right. I'm going to let the world know the truth. Priscilla did the same thing, didn't she? Priscilla in 1985, I'm going to put wrongs to rights. And we know what happened there. This is a trash book. It's full of lies, in my opinion, for entertainment purposes, not a fact. This is actually a lovely read, guys, but we don't, you know, we weren't there. We're not a fly on the wall.
1. Insights into Elvis's final days. In the heart-wrenching final days of Elvis Presley's life, Ginger Alden provides a poignant and intimate account of their time together. According to Ginger, the hours leading up to Elvis's death were filled with optimism and plans for the future. Just hours before his passing,
Come on, guys, I love that. Filled with optimism and plans for the future. I really believe Elvis was looking forward to the future. Honestly, guys, even in one of her interviews, she plays down the book Elvis What Happened and said that Elvis was okay with it. No, not okay with the book. Obviously, he was upset with the book. I mean, he had moved on. He was getting on with his life. I think Elvis forgave Red West. The annoying thing is that secret phone call that Red West did, where he recorded Elvis and him chatting. Elvis was very forgiving. Dave Hebler was sat next to him. I found that out last week. Dave Hebler was sat with Red West. I wonder who else was sat with Red West when that phone call was being secretly recorded. Shame on you, Red West.
Elvis and Ginger had discussed their wedding plans in detail, setting a date that filled both with excitement and hope. Elvis was looking
So the whole setting a date thing, did it happen? Did it happen, guys? What do you think? Leave it in the comments. Were they going to get married at Christmas?
forward to many things: marriage, more children, serious films, in his next tour.
So I believe that Elvis was getting, because he was getting older, he was 42, that he had started to sort of become more settled, was looking forward to a family and a future, maybe more children. I do believe that. I'm just not so sure if it was going to happen in December.
Ginger recalled. This contradicts the widespread belief that Elvis was consumed by despair in his final days. Ginger's presence during these last moments underscores the deep bond they shared, a bond that was meant to culminate in marriage and a renewed future together. Vernon Presley, Elvis's father, also affirmed the depth of Elvis's feelings for Ginger. In interviews,
It's funny, they mentioned Vernon, but one of the biggest things that is said about Ginger is that she was kicked out of Graceland, yeah, which is not true. I don't think there's any truth to that. But this is another one of the Chinese whispers. There are so many Chinese whispers when it concerns Ginger Alden and Elvis. Honestly, guys, actually, even with Linda, I hear a lot of stories about Linda, most of them not true. Let's keep going, guys.
Vernon spoke of how Elvis had confided in him about his plans with Ginger, expressing a desire to start a new chapter of his life. I never got to know Ginger Alden well. She's not much of a talker, but a while back Elvis told me he'd fallen in love with her, Vernon said. He further mentioned Elvis's wish to have more children and his hope that Ginger would be the mother of these children.
So it wouldn't surprise me if Elvis wanted more children. Even with Ginger, don't forget, a beautiful local girl, I think a very decent girl. Come on, Elvis is human. He wanted love, children, a family, just like everybody else. He was at a time in his life when things were calming down.
These statements from Vernon provide a heartfelt validation of Ginger's place in Elvis's life and his sincere intentions towards her. Reflecting on her time with Elvis, Ginger Alden paints a picture of a man who was eager and ready to embrace the future.
I agree with that. I actually agree with that. Eager and ready to embrace the future. And I think if you look at many of the actions of Elvis in the last few months, including the Hawaii holiday, he was looking forward to the future. I don't think Elvis was expecting to have a heart attack. He was sick, he was unwell, he was in pain, discomfort, he had many medical problems, he was overprescribed, but he was also looking forward to the future, I believe.
Contrary to the narrative of a tortured soul, Ginger describes Elvis as being in a good mood and filled with anticipation for what was to come. He was ready to go back on stage, something he loved with all of his being, Ginger noted, highlighting.
So, I just noticed Elizabeth mentions the makeup thing. Obviously, Elizabeth is a big fan. I will say this, guys. You got to think she's 20 years old. She knows that when she discovers Elvis, there's going to be dozens of people there. She knows it. So, a 20-year-old quickly putting some eyeliner on, a bit of makeup on, and then quickly, you know, I just think she was 20. She was 20. I understand that it upsets people. I do understand it upsets people. What would you have done? It's a tough one, guys. You know, 20 is very young. People are insecure about their looks, about how people see them. Some people feel completely naked without any basic makeup on. You know, women especially, of course. What do you think? Put it in your comments. Put it in your views. What would you have done under the same circumstances? Did it even happen? Did it even happen?
Elvis's enduring passion for performing. Their conversations were often about the future, filled with dreams of marriage, expanding their family, and continuing his illustrious career. This hopeful outlook challenges the grim depiction often associated with Elvis's final months. However, Ginger's reflections are not just about the good times. They are also a defense against the accusations and doubts cast by Elvis's inner circle.
So, Karen says, I believe Elvis was trying to please Ginger, maybe saying what he thought she wanted to hear. Now, I've heard this again and again. Yeah. Karen, I just want to say, 99% of the things that are said about Elvis and Ginger, I've heard hundreds of times. I've also heard the same things twisted, exaggerated. They're different than what was actually said. You know, there's many things in the book that have been altered. Even Lisa's own words in the book From Here to the Great Unknown have been twisted. So it's a tough one, guys. Remember, we can't put Elvis up here on a pedestal like some kind of god. He could be awkward. He could be difficult. He had mood swings. He was not well. He was overprescribed with medication. So Elvis had a temper. So, you know, it's very easy to paint Ginger in a bad light. But the truth is they were both human. They both made mistakes. Elvis, a strong-minded person that wanted to have his way, you know, wanted to get his way, the boss of everyone. Yeah. So, you know, I think we should be a bit more fairer to Ginger. I think the makeup thing is just used as a way of attacking Ginger. The only thing I'm unsure about is I don't know if Elvis would have wanted to get married in December. That's the bit I'm a bit critical of. Do I think Elvis planned to marry her? I think it's very possible. So, you know, Elvis was under a lot of pressure. Many people, hundreds of people were relying on him. He would have been getting ready to go on tour. If he went to the dentist, he may have been in pain. Yeah, toothache is the worst kind of pain. I don't know exactly what procedure he had at the dentist. I'm sure we can look it up. So it's very hard to see both sides of the fence. It's very hard to be unbiased when it concerns Elvis because we love him so much. So I always try my best to not put Elvis up here like he's a god and try and see the real human being. Same goes for Ginger Alden. Let's keep going, guys.
Particularly the Memphis Mafia. Many members of this close-knit group have been vocal about their disapproval of Ginger, often dismissing her claims and downplaying her significance in Elvis's life. Yet Ginger stands firm, providing detailed accounts and personal anecdotes to support her version of events.
So Terry says, I believe Elvis was going to marry Ginger in December. A lot of people do, yeah? But Terry, why? Why do you believe that? What are your reasons? It was so soon, wasn't it? It was so soon. You know, they'd only been together 9 months at the time of Elvis's death. Would Elvis have rushed into marriage? Elvis had never been engaged to anybody else, as far as I know. Yeah. I'm not sure what Linda Thompson says about it. So there's many people that don't think they were ever going to get married. That Elvis. So I agree. I'm not sure when or if he would have got married, but I do think that he did want to get married. Yeah. Yeah. One day have a family. Yeah. Yeah. Gene, the whole engagement ring thing. Good morning, Gene. I've heard it 1,000 times. I've heard it 1,000 times. Look, I know, guys, a lot of you don't like Ginger. There's a lot of you that love Ginger. You go from one extreme to the other, and there's the people in the middle that are indifferent. Guys, I know that this live stream will get a lot of comments. I always know that when I do a Ginger Alden live stream, I'm going to lose some subscribers, because there's some people that are just not interested in Ginger, her portrayal of events. There are some people that are so loyal to Lisa Marie that they've made up their mind that Lisa Marie hated Ginger, so they don't want nothing to do with Ginger. But the truth is, Lisa Marie didn't say she hated Ginger. She said she heard them arguing. There's a difference. Isn't there a difference? I think it's pretty clear that Lisa Marie really liked Linda. Yeah. So it's a complicated one, guys. So, Emily, I'm not so convinced Elvis would have married that quick. Yeah, that's how I feel. Yeah, so agree. Elizabeth says it's normal in your 40s to get, I wouldn't say suddenly, but I do think you start to think in that way. You know, you want to calm down, you want to settle down. I don't dislike Ginger. I think that a lot of the facts are questionable. Well, to me, the most questionable thing is the marriage date. Everything else I'm okay with. It's the marriage date that I question.
She recalls how Elvis confided in her about various issues, including his frustrations with Priscilla and the pressures of his career. By sharing these intimate moments, Ginger aims to defend her truth and honor the love and plans she and Elvis shared.
So that's a comment from Emma. I think he wanted a good marriage in the end, but I do feel he may have had doubts about Ginger, so don't see him rushing into the marriage. It's very possible. It's very possible, guys, that Elvis had doubts. This is why people bring up the Alicia Kerwin thing. So if you listen to family members and they discuss Ginger, they have strong views. It's pretty obvious some of them think Elvis definitely was not going to marry Ginger, and they had been arguing a lot. I've seen the old interviews of family members that are just fed up with Ginger, felt that she was more interested in partying and just the interests of a much younger person. To me, it's pretty clear that the Memphis Mafia and family members didn't really like Ginger. She was kept away from the Memphis Mafia. She spent more time upstairs. Yeah. I think Elvis preferred her to stay upstairs with him. Yeah. I don't think Lisa Marie and Ginger bonded. I don't think they had the bond that Linda had with Lisa. I'm just a fan airing out my thoughts.
Her reflections serve as a powerful testament to their relationship, offering a different perspective on Elvis's final days and challenging the narrative constructed by those who were not privy to the couple's private moments. The world has always been fascinated by Elvis Presley, not just for his music, but also for his tumultuous love life. Over the years, fans have developed strong opinions about the women who played significant roles in his life.
Ha, they sure have, especially when it comes to Priscilla and Ginger. And Linda, actually. You'll be surprised, guys. There's a lot of backlash against Linda. In fact, even the person that gave me this book, I think, can't stand Linda. Sorry, but Look, guys, when I listen to your comments, it's clear who likes Linda. I mean, sorry, it's clear who does like and does not like Ginger Alden. You know, I can tell. I read the comments. I know who likes who doesn't like who. I know who has strong feelings about a certain person, who doesn't. The truth is, we'll never know. We'll never know, guys.
Priscilla Presley, being Elvis's first and only wife, has always held a prominent place in the hearts of many fans. Their love story...
If you are a Priscilla fan, please do some more research. It was not a prominent love story. There's way much more to it. Come on, please do some research, Priscilla fans. She was unfaithful more than once. She was very cruel to Elvis many times. I will accept, when she first moved over to Gracelands, Elvis lived as a single man. That must have been hard for Priscilla. I personally feel that as soon as Priscilla had an eye on fame, fortune, and men, because Priscilla did like her men, there was a new Priscilla emerging. I think the Priscilla that Elvis met was very different to the Priscilla that Priscilla became. Yeah? So I think Elvis started to see the truth. I think Elvis started to see Priscilla's true colours. And who knows, guys, if only we could be a fly on the wall back then. Obviously, Child Bride, the book, has a different version of things. There's a secret side to Priscilla that was not innocent, was not a virgin, that there was a plan to trap Elvis and to get to Gracelands. So it's complicated, guys. But one thing I do believe that Priscilla was a devil in disguise. I do think she was not a match for Elvis. They were not a match made in heaven. They did not have a beautiful romance. I think their relationship was very rocky, very turbulent. There was unfaithfulness on both people. They were definitely not meant to be. They should never have married. Elvis should never have married Priscilla. He was not ready for marriage. He was not ready to settle down. Elvis may have made promises that he regretted, but for whatever reasons, whether it be Colonel Tom Parker or Priscilla's parents or Vernon, a marriage happened that really should never have happened. We've got evidence that shows Elvis didn't want to get married. Elvis didn't want to get married. I don't think Priscilla wanted to be pregnant. When I do my research, I always think Priscilla did not want to be pregnant. She didn't want a baby. She wasn't ready for a baby. People say Elvis wasn't ready for marriage. Priscilla wasn't ready for a child, to have a child. Yeah. And this is probably why we're so disappointed with her treatment of poor Lisa Marie. Obviously, a lot of things happened to poor Lisa because of a broken marriage, because of different boyfriends that Priscilla had. We're obviously very upset with Michael Edwards for obvious reasons. We're disgusted with it. We want justice for Lisa Marie against the alleged abuse of Michael Edwards, Priscilla's boyfriend, towards Lisa Marie, Priscilla's daughter. So it's all very complicated, isn't it, guys? Billy Smith told Elvis she wants to do is, pool parties and go to clubs and show off Elvis to her family and friends. Yeah, Gene, yeah. I've seen the interview. He did. It's guys, it's very clear Billy did not like Ginger. He didn't like Ginger. Just an opinion for entertainment purposes. But don't forget, you got to try and understand when you get a family member saying they didn't like Ginger Alden, yeah? Linda was very popular. Linda fitted in with the boys. She mixed with the boys. She mixed with the Memphis Mafia. She lived there. She was very good for Elvis. She really helped Elvis. She nursed Elvis. She was a good lover to Elvis. But the truth is, after a year, Elvis did start looking elsewhere. We don't really know why. We don't know why things fizzled out with Linda. There's obviously, we hear about the romance she may have had with one of Elvis's band members. The truth is, it didn't work out with Linda. So let's play a bit more, guys.
From their meeting in Germany to their high-profile marriage and eventual divorce is seen by many as a classic Hollywood romance with its fair share of ups and downs. Priscilla's role as the mother of Elvis's only child, Lisa Marie, further solidifies her enduring connection to the king. In contrast, Ginger Alden's relationship with
Let me just hear that last bit again.
Downs. Priscilla's role as the mother of Elvis's only child, Lisa Marie, further solidifies her enduring connection to the king.
No, no, that is the trick to the world. That because they married, because they had a child, that everything must have been okay. Elvis must have loved Priscilla. Elvis, nah, I'm not falling for it. I'm not falling for it. I don't agree with that comment. Remember, this is AI, okay?
In contrast, Ginger Alden's relationship with Elvis, though shorter and less publicized, has also garnered significant attention, especially given her position as his fiancée at the time of his death. Fans are...
You know, like Karen says, Priscilla lied from the beginning to get her claws into Elvis. Again, I don't want to paint Elvis and whitewash him. He did make mistakes in the relationship between him and Priscilla. He was unfaithful. He did have a temper. He was, you know, in those days, in the 70s, in the 60s, very much the man took charge of things. So it isn't straightforward as, oh, everything was Priscilla's fault. I won't do that because I don't think that's a fair and understanding way of dealing with the Priscilla and Elvis topic. Now, I'm very upset with Priscilla. She's done many things I don't like, many, many things. I expose Priscilla every day. But Elvis made mistakes as well. We have to be fair. Elvis was being unfaithful. The Anne Margaret thing did happen. Priscilla was living with Elvis when he was seeing Anne Margaret. So we have to be fair, guys. Yeah? I understand that we are all upset with Priscilla, with all of her wrongdoing, her lies, her betrayal, her twisting of the truth. But Elvis did make mistakes. We must be fair. To be credible on this channel defending Elvis, we must show both sides of the story, even though we all lean towards Elvis. Okay, guys, you know how I feel.
Divided in their views on Ginger. Some see her as a young woman who brought new hope and happiness to Elvis's life during his final days. They admire her for standing by him and respecting her own values by not moving into Graceland before marriage. Others, however, influenced by the criticisms from Elvis's inner circle, view her with skepticism, questioning the depth and authenticity of her relationship with Elvis.
That is true, guys. Ginger gets a lot of grief. A lot of grief. It must be difficult for her, guys. She gets a lot of hate as well, but she also gets a lot of love. But she does defend Elvis every week.
These contrasting perspectives highlight the ongoing debate among fans about who truly held Elvis's heart in his final years, and how each woman influenced his life and legacy. As we delve into these complex and often conflicting narratives, we want to hear from you, our viewers. What are your thoughts on the controversy between Ginger Alden and Priscilla Presley?
Leave it in the comments, guys. Quite a good AI video. A lot of the things in it are wrong and twisted, exaggerated, and just incorrect, but still a great way to defend Elvis. We can bring up all these little points. We can discuss Priscilla. We can discuss Ginger, even Linda to a certain degree. We can try and understand how Elvis felt. I'm going to use these AI videos to my advantage.
Do you believe Ginger's account of her relationship with Elvis? Or do you side with Priscilla's version of events?
Okay, I'm coming now.
We invite you to share your opinions and insights in the comments section below. Your perspective is crucial in understanding the full picture of this iconic love story.
Well, there we are. See what Emily says? I remember how insecure I was at 20. So the makeup thing, you see it differently when you put it in your own life. Yeah?
To spark the conversation, here are a few questions to consider. Do you think Priscilla should have respected Ginger and Elvis's relationship and refrained from making public statements that could be perceived as undermining? How do you view the role of the Memphis Mafia in shaping the public perception of Elvis's final days and his relationship with Ginger? And finally, what do you think about Ginger's claims that Elvis was looking forward to the future with her, contrary to the widespread belief that he was a troubled and unhappy man in his last days? Your engagement is important to us. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more in-depth stories and analyses of the lives of your favorite stars.
Okay, guys, that's it. And we'll leave it at this picture that shows Elvis on holiday in Hawaii with Ginger, with Billy Smith, with Joe Smith. Elvis did have some happy times at the end of his life. I got to go, guys. Tino's calling me. But I just want to add, we must defend fairly. We have to try and take away our personal feelings and try and give an unbiased way of defending. Otherwise, I feel we're less credible. If there's people that dislike people, hate people, blah, 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 I don't think we get to the truth. Somehow we have to remember these people are human. Yeah? Elvis was human. Ginger was human. Priscilla was human. These are all human beings seeing things from their point of view. Now remember, Elvis was no angel. Elvis made a lot of mistakes. Elvis could be difficult. Elvis could be hard to be with sometimes, but he was also amazing and fantastic and beautiful and lovely and charming and caring and loving, everything good in a man that he could be. But he could also be difficult. So when we discuss all these people, the fairer we are, the better. Remove the hate, remove the personal feelings, try and be impartial, and that way we'll get nearer the truth. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this. I love to all of you guys. Thank you for joining here at Defending Elvis. Hopefully I'll be back later. So I've done a few videos this morning, and this is my first live stream today. Hoping to do more. It's beautiful weather in the UK. So who knows what's going to happen today. Thanks to all of you for joining me. Have a great day. Love to all of you. And I'll be back. See you later, alligator.